Now, at the time, I was working for the leader and the chief executive, so I was working in the kind of exec support office in the middle of the organisation, and they've been planning this transformation for some time. They've been speaking to a number of big brand vendors, and had hired one of the big global IT firms as a partner on this journey, and they were standing up this program, which was involving hundreds of people from around the organisation, looking at technology, looking at process change, looking at the whole kind of range of things you might do to save money. Um, but it was going really badly. It was really noisy. People were really stressed. The consultants had a really bad name. They came in sort of suited and booted and not really a kind of cultural fit with the organization. It was just set up. It wasn't set up to succeed from the outset, and all of the projects that started to be delivered were running late, over budget. The benefits were eroding. The confidence was dipping. There was a lot of angst in the organization, especially as the savings that they needed to hit were non-negotiable. The firms typically brought large teams of recent graduates, supervised by some more experienced people. Proteus brought very experienced program directors from the outset, and they acted a lot more like they were a genuine partner of the organization. Everyone talks the language of partnership, but in reality, there's a very clear divide, in my experience, between the third parties and the clients. They, often physically sit away from each other. They have kind of more formal sort of interactions. They don't necessarily have kind of shared incentives. They're not aligned to achieve the same thing, and that can cause all sorts of friction. As soon as Proteus arrived, they were sitting on our side of the table. They quickly took on interim roles within the structure of our organization, and they took responsibility for managing those other vendors as well as managing the organization's own teams to get the transformation program under control. They immediately built an excellent reputation. People were talking really positively about the interactions they were having with the guys. There was a strong sense that they had been there and done it and knew how to deliver large-scale transformation in a way that we hadn't seen from anyone else. And then they immediately took steps to sort of calm the ship, settle things down. In terms of specifics, they helped us end our relationship with some of the vendors where that wasn't going to be a good fit and wasn't going to deliver a good outcome. They helped us shape the end-to-end transformation program, the sort of multiple-year journey, as a series of transition states where we were really focused and on the priorities for each 6-month kind of bundle of projects, and we made sure there was enough capacity in the organisation to support those projects so that they would be successful. Proteus designed a whole governance regime, ways of working, coached our people, kind of got the best out of the organisation to really create a sense of positive momentum. And very quickly, the sort of the tide turned, and we started to feel a real sense of confidence in the ability to deliver. And then a few months later, you could start to see those results. So where everything had been going red and slipping, and people getting annoyed and upset and not seeing what the results would look like, you went from that to much better visibility, much better control, delivering things on time, delivering all the way through to the benefits and the outcomes actually being realized, rather than just a set of irrelevant kind of milestones on a roadmap. And the executive and the members and all the senior management were kind of coming towards this transformation and seeing what it could do for their areas of the business. It was all due to Proteus. It was the accelerated sort of training journey, which was facilitated by their unique and very powerful methods and approaches and tools that I was able to exploit, really to kind of almost borrow experience from other people and become effective very quickly, and hold my own facing off to like a partner from one of the big four. and really hold them to account, because I was equipped with this really nifty set of approaches that Proteus had taught me. And at that point, I was looking at my options and deciding where I wanted to go next. I knew I wanted to go into consultancy and experience different environments and learn and develop, as quickly as I could. Um, and I spoke to a couple of firms. I had an offer from one of the big four, which I was considering taking. But then I spoke to Proteus, so I did put on a pedestal and thought this would be a level way beyond, the other firms that I'd been working with. Um, and one thing led to another, and I was able to join Proteus, which I chose to do over any of the other options.